and welcome back. So today like I said last week, I want to make a video just giving some tips and hints for people that's going studying abroad and have a lot on their mind right now. So I have written down some of my tips here just to remind myself a little bit, since it is some years ago now. So even though it's an amazing experience to go studying abroad, it does cost a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say it's cheap because I spent so much money when I went there. But so one of the ways, some countries, they might have that so and so people this and this grade they'll get for free, so some people don't, so you can always hope for getting that spot. So one thing I would recommend is saving up money. Start saving up maybe like the first year of university, just so you have a little bit saved up. That is always nice, and especially if you will travel while you're there. Have a little bit of money saved up, because it costs more than you think a lot of times. Suddenly you're like, oh, this is more expensive than I thought. And maybe even consider like what countries is it cheaper to study in, and what is the best options for me when it comes to the money things. So this one is quite a big part. It's paperwork. I will always recommend doing this as soon as possible. Don't wait to the last minute, even though I did probably, yeah. But try to do this as soon as possible, because paperwork can be a lot. For example, what I mean about that, your subject. Get your subject approved. Make sure that that subject you're taking is actually approved compared to what you're studying. Is that because if you're taking a class and you think that, oh, this is fine, I have enough fun, you finish my school, and then you get back like, oh no, that subject or class did not apply for me, that doesn't work, so I have to take another class. That's gonna be really boring. And yeah, so you have to get them approved. For me, at least when I did it, I have to write down everything I had, and I have to get approved before I went there, so that I knew that it will actually be within my bachelor degree when I get back again. Another thing that's within the paperwork is the visa. I don't think every country has this. I traveled to Australia, so that you had to have a visa there. So even though the visa most likely is going to be on your passport, I recommend printing out the visa. Because if I hadn't done it, I would be in trouble. Because for some reason when I was applying for my visa, there were some kind of problems with my name in there, like it was on my whole name is Elise Brendan Hansen, right? So when I applied for it, it went under Elise and Brendan Hansen as the last name altogether. But my name is actually Elise. Elise as a first name, Brendan as a middle name, and Hansen as a last name. And because of that, the visa was on the wrong name, if you get what I mean. But since I had everything printed out and I could show them and it was approved, it was fine. And they helped me with fixing it at the airport, so it was no problem. But if you get the visa, and when you have to get a visa, make sure you have everything printed out in case something happens on your way there, so you don't have to end up going back. That's gonna be really boring. Getting on the airport, traveling across the world, and like, I have to go back to fix that. And of course, when you go traveling like that, and I would recommend getting an insurance. So figure out what's the best option for you when you get an insurance. And what's cheapest and stuff like that. So insurance is also within the paperwork. It's always good to have that already fixed before you go traveling. Pretty sure you have to have that fixed before you go traveling, actually. So going over from paperwork to something else. This is subject. Yes, I did cover that a little bit, but not a lot. For example, when I studied tourism, so I had to have 4 classes that was within my subject within that year. So I actually also took some photography classes, I took acting classes. I was terrible at that. But anyway, I was able to do that because I knew that I only had to take 4 classes that was within like tourism management and stuff like that. So I had different classes that was within that subject, but also some other subjects that I was able to take, and I made sure before I left that was approved. So you can always, like, if that's possible, take some other classes that you can like mix them up a little bit. So it's fun, like you don't always have those other classes. That was for me though, like it depends what you want to do. Accommodations. I stayed on property, on school property, like they had their own like options for where you could live. But sometimes they can get filled up, so you're not able to get to live on the school ground, as it's called. That's a better word for it. But other times, other schools, they have like their own accommodations for study abroad people, so they actually have a place to come. But not everyone wants to stay on school property. Like they want to get their own apartments outside. But if you do that, I'm not gonna say I know a lot about that. I don't. But make sure you don't write and like sign into a contract without having everything checked, and make sure it's a good standard apartment and everything like that. And I'm actually really happy I chose to stay on property because it's a lot easier to meet people and it's closer to school. But it do depends on yourself. Not everyone wants to do that. Where I lived, which was Townsville, you paid your tuition fee and your accommodation fee all at once. So I paid everything as soon as I got there. I did not have to think that since I was there for a whole year, not just one semester, I paid for the first semester at one go and then the second semester at one go. So I didn't have to think about that for the entire semester since I did that in the beginning. And just Google it. A lot of people have like YouTube videos showing the apartments and accommodations, so you know what you're going through. Don't have a lot of high hopes because it might not always be the highest standards, but it's still at the same time probably good enough. Make sure to figure out if you want to do 1 semester or 2 semesters. For example, me personally, I was really happy for doing 2 semesters versus 1 year. Because then I got the first semester, you're like, oh, I have to do everything, meet all new people, and it's so much to learn and so much to do. That the second semester were more relaxed, and I got to like see a bit more and everything. But I know other people, some of my friends that was there, they were glad I only did 1 semester. So, and you have to remember it costs more money, of course, to do it 2 semesters, but that is up to you. Where to go? Wherever you feel like going. Only thing you have to think about is, do they have my subject? Is my school, can I go there with whatever school I am at right now? Like, often on your school webpage it will stand what places you can go studying compared to what subject you're studying. So you can choose whatever you want to. Just make sure that you want to go to that country and it's because of you and nobody else. So when you go to this place, for example me, I thought I was going all by myself. I didn't think anybody else from my class was going to that country, but going to Australia or Townsville, I was going to Townsville. But I met another girl, which is Kari. You have seen her in a lot of my vlogs. She was also going there. I didn't know her, but we decided at that point, I didn't know her at that point, but we decided to make, like, we booked our plane tickets together so that we can travel together over there. So we didn't end up going by ourselves, like, didn't know anything. So, and I'm so happy we did that. Like, it was scary going so far by yourself, so it was really good to have somebody there with you. And I'm not saying that you should rely on somebody else. Like, if you want to go somewhere, go for it. It doesn't have to be anybody else there. But if you know somebody else from your school are also going there, maybe like talk with them. Maybe you can go there together and see if you can at least travel there together so you're not by yourself. Talk with people from all cultures and every country. Like, don't just go with the people that is from your country. Like, I'm not gonna say anything, my group of people was mostly Norwegians, but we were always like, you random person there, come to us, be our friend. I still have some American friends, and I still have some people from Australia on my Facebook and everything. And it's just nice that you're still able to, a good opportunity to meet people from all around, not just your own country, but people from all around the world. And that is something I'll recommend. Talk with people from other countries as well. Join activities. I started there, and I had a couple of people I was talking with, like Kari and some of my neighbors. I was like, do you want to join this thing? I don't know what it is. Do you want to join it? And I was like, okay, sure. So I was like forcing people to join me on things because I was like, I want to try this. Because the first week it's a lot of times they will have like activities. Where I went, it was the O week, it was called. So you have different activities where maybe they go places in that town, or they maybe they have like, for example, they went to the beach and they had like some quizzes, and they went to the aquarium, so, and to the zoo and everything. So we got to do that in the O week, and some of it did cost money, but not everything. And I was really happy that I did a lot of these activities because I got to meet more people. So it's a good thing. You might be able, maybe meet some new friends, and you get to try something, and you get to see part of that like country. Yeah, you get to see that city where you're living, so, or the place you're living. So that's really good. I think I loved the O week because I got to see so much. So back at my university in Kristiansand, I was a buddy, which basically means somebody taking care of and welcoming the new people from new international students. I was organizing some parties. I was showing them around in the city, and they, like ESN, which was the group, kind of the company I was working with, not working, I didn't earn anything, I was volunteering for. They're like big ESN. You will see them in a lot of the European countries. It's a European student network, if I'm not completely mistaken. So a lot of times if you go to a European country, they will have the groups, the buddies and everything that you can talk with. I'm not sure how many countries that has it. I know Norway has, and Kristiansand, you have your own like buddy group with 3 or 4 Norwegians, or other study abroad people that's been studying for 2 semesters. They will welcome you, take care of you, and like show you around. And if you are in one of those groups, I recommend actually joining the activities, at least in the beginning, so you get to speak with some people and see some of the city. Oh yeah, vaccines. Some countries, you're gonna need extra vaccines, so just make sure check out what you need and what you already have. Actually remember to study. I know it can be hard sometimes, but put off a couple of hours just to like study a little bit, and so you don't fail. At least try. I know it's hard. I know all about that. Travel a little bit. If you have the money, of course. I'm not gonna say go travel if you don't have money, but if you have the possibility, I would recommend you to go traveling in your vacation, your time off, and see either the place, like the country you are staying, or another country that's close by. So it's just so you don't get stuck at the same place. You just remember to have some fun while you're there. Don't forget to have fun. That's the most important part. Have some fun, explore a little bit, see a little bit, travel a bit, and you will be good. Respect the culture where you're going. That's always important. For example, when I went there, like I said, I went to Australia. I also went to Uluru and Ayers Rock, which a lot of like indigenous people, they live in that area. And it was important for us tourists coming there to respect the people that was living there. And of course, when we went to Ayers Rock, we did not walk on top of it because that's really against their culture. We only walked around. So if you're going to Ayers Rock, or Uluru, I think is it called Ayers Rock or Uluru? I think like if you Uluru is an area, if I'm not completely wrong, and the Ayers Rock is like the big rock there. For the indigenous people living there, it's really like a part of their religion and culture not to walk on top of it. So we did not do that, we only walked around it. So remember to respect the place and the country and the culture and everything of where you're going, even if you're just traveling there. Yeah, basically that is it. Like, enjoy, have fun, meet new people, talk with people, join some activities, remember to study a little bit, have your paperwork all done, always try to find a little cheaper plane tickets. Go to the country you want to go. So yeah, have fun if you're going. I will see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!